welcome to... On tonight's Clubhouse Live, Aaron Jones welcomes wide receiver Allen Lazard to the big show. What went wrong against the Chargers? Well, we'll find out from the guys. How will the Packers respond? Aaron and Allen will let us know what we can expect. Plus, we have a Scotty-themed Clubhouse Live challenge you won't want to miss. It's time to get started, so let's open the doors. Hit it.
All right, a standing ovation for the guys. Hey, welcome back to the Clubhouse Sports Pub and Grill here inside the Radisson Paper Valley Hotel. We're in downtown Appleton, Wisconsin. Let me check that Red Lion Hotel, Paper Valley, right, Ricardo? There was a slip from a couple years ago. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network, Wisconsin. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Good energy, nice crowd. Therapeutic Monday, we'll call it, right? But first things first, this will definitely bring a smile to everybody's faces. It's when I introduce tonight's door openers. Give it up for Carson and Selena over there. Yes. Big old clap from Mean Gene as well, but we're going to turn those smiles upside down is when I have to introduce the other co-host. It is none other than Chicago Bears fan, Ricardo Arguello.
How are you, Brett? Hey, I'm feeling the booze a little bit. It was a terrible week for both our teams and the rest of the NFC North. Brett, I'm feeling melancholy.
Let me just rephrase it. You're the fan of the last place Chicago Bears, right?
Right now.
Losers of 4 straight.
They are in trouble, and that just means they're going to surprise everybody when they go 8-0.
Oh, yeah. Good one, Ricardo. Well, I tell you what, I'll give you an opportunity. This is your 60-second Bears minute that you insist on having it written into the script. So hurry up.
That's right.
60 seconds start now.
Thank you. They took a tough loss to the Eagles last night, or last afternoon, I should say. 22. Hey, come on. You always pull this.
It's always technical difficulties when you speak. Why is that?
Well.
Okay, that's enough.
Yes.
Hey, we got other things, more important things to talk about than Ricardo and his Bears. But Chargers 26, Packers 11. It was a rough day. Yeah, it was a rough day at the office for the Packers in all 3 phases as they saw their 4-game winning streak snapped in sunny California. That's the bad news, but Ricardo mentioned it, the good news. Hey, the Lions, the Bears, and the Vikings all lost as well, right? So no harm, no foul, to use a basketball metaphor. The Packers remain atop the NFC North, hold a 1-game lead. 2 games if we're talking tiebreakers over the hated Vikings. And a new team awaits. So does Christian McCaffrey, right? And the Carolina Panthers, they're coming to Lambeau Field. So only the second time this guy showed his face. It's Mad Vince. He doesn't like what happened. Doesn't like it when the Packers lose. He certainly doesn't like Ricardo.
Nope.
Nobody likes Ricardo.
Coach Ditka.
But you know what? Let's have a good time tonight because our co-host is back. He's sitting right there. It is Green Bay Packers running back Aaron Jones. Hey, we got another exciting young player. Check out who's hanging out with us Showtime tonight. It is Green Bay Packers wide receiver Allen Lazard. He's right there. First things first. First, a big thank you to our presenting sponsors. Superior Discount Liquors, a full-service liquor store with the area's largest selection of liquor, wine, and beer. They also take special orders on hard-to-find items with locations in Green Bay, Manitowoc, and Sheboygan. Stop in today. And Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Check out Wednesday Night Wins this fall at Potawatomi. Play with your club card now through November 13th for your share of $250,000 in total prizes. More at paysbig.com/fall wins. Ricardo.
Yes.
Get busy.
We are an interactive show, so we invite your comments and questions to our live chat. That can be found online next to our video viewer. But Sammy West, get it on her, please. She is monitoring the chat. She'll relay those comments and questions right over to you, Brett.
Yes, give us a follow at PC Brettsy, at PC Ricardo, at by Samantha West, at Showtime. That's TYME_33, and Allen is at Allen Lazard. Also, give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Clubhouse Clubhouse Live. So I got to keep the Vikings welcome mat onto the stage because they're really the only true threat that remains for the Packers in the race for the NFC North crown. So gives the guys the opportunity to stomp their feet all over that ugly logo, that ugly color, and make that guy's night very miserable because we have a Vikings fan here, everybody. Aaron Jones not happy with that guy right now, and he's going to take out his frustrations on you. Oh, he's challenging Aaron right now. No, you don't want to do that. He's an actual athlete. You are not. All right, so let's get our co-host onto the stage. He's in his third NFL season. They've all been with the Packers. He can run. He can catch. He's one of the league leaders in touchdowns scored, and he's the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Give it up for Green Bay Packers running back number 33, Aaron Showtime Jones. Welcome back to the show. Good crowd.
It is a good crowd. Hello, everybody.
One slight bone to pick with you, though.
Love the hat.
Yeah, I knew that was coming
Hat
because
away, Aaron.
the Bears fan is also
Yes.
a Cardinals fan.
Yes.
I'm not a Cardinals fan.
Cardinal Nation. Well, you just keep wearing the hat, though. Looks good on you.
It just matched my hoodie. you
It
know.
doesn't matter. You have it on.
I'm a Brewers
Welcome-
fan.
We welcome you
There.
to Cardinal Nation.
He's a Brewers fan. Let's give him a
Go
different
Birds.
red hat, like a Kimberly Papermakers hat or something. A little bit more local. We
I'll
can do
wear
that.
one
Nina
of those.
Rockets.
Get rid of that ugly hat. But hey, let's start the show off on a good note before we have to dive into a little bit of what happened yesterday. But hey, he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week again since we last saw him. Congrats again.
Thank you.
Did we ever, well, first of all, I ran a litany of accolades for this guy, right, Ricardo, last week? I mean, after his monster game against the Chiefs, 159 yards and 2 touchdowns, receiving, 7 catches, 226 total yards. But I found even more things that you did in that game that were historic. And I don't know if you're aware of them, but I'm going to tell you that you and the Rams' Todd Gurley are the only players since 1950 with at least 65 rushing yards, 150 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns in a single game. Only 2 guys since 1950. And I'm sitting next to one of them. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yes, I have more news for you. You were also the first Packers running back since the great Paul Hornung, right? The Golden Boy. And that was back in 1965 where you had 2 receptions of at least 50 yards in a single game. So this guy is rewriting the history books. You can open up that media guide and see a whole bunch of Aaron Jones entries in there. So
That's the goal.
that is the goal. And a lot of hugs, right, Aaron?
A lot of hugs.
Yeah.
That means you're doing something right. You know you're doing something right when you open that up.
Hey, did you ever figure? I think I asked you. Did you ever figure out what you get for NFC Offensive Player of the Week? Did you get any
Still
cool stuff?
haven't figured it
They
out.
still haven't gotten you anything.
You don't get a trophy or
I
anything?
think there
No
should be like a
little-
plaque or something. A little
Maybe at the end of the year it comes. Hopefully.
Maybe. We'll see. Hey, by the way, I want to ask you, how many sombreros do you own? Every time you go on a road trip, you have a sombrero on. How many do you have?
So I ordered that one on Amazon, but I have a few at my parents' house that they're gonna send up here, so
That is your
I'll
thing.
be covered. That's my thing.
Representing El Paso 915, right?
Yes, sir.
I was thinking we have a Packers-Bears bet coming not too far away, Ricardo.
Yes.
I think that's week 15. They play the Bears at Lambeau. As part of the Packers-Bears bet, if the Packers win, or should I say when the Packers win, maybe Ricardo should wear your green and gold sombrero as part of the celebration.
No, that's all right.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
There it is.
Not happening.
The green and gold one. The green and gold one.
The green and gold one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's done. Aaron Jones says it is because it is his show, Ricardo.
I'll leave it in my car for you.
Okay, all right. All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
So we kind of have it squared away. The
Well, we have
Packers.
to figure out the other way around.
I'm not even worried about
All right,
that
I
part
know
of
you're
it.
not, but we will.
Can't wait to see you in that sombrero. So I'm going to ask you the question that I think all of Packers Nation, what the heck happened yesterday? As you look back on what transpired, it was a rough afternoon in all 3 phases. So what did you see? Is it just one of those games that happened throughout the course of an NFL season?
It definitely is one of those games. Humbling. A game you need throughout the course of the year. Definitely didn't want that to happen to us. But they came ready to play, and that's kudos to them. And we just got to be better and be us and play our game. And that was not us.
It was interesting. You guys have been playing so well offensively and talking about that side of the ball, but you had just 3 first-half offensive possessions, punts on your first 5 offensive series. So what did film study show? What were some of the breakdowns and corrections? And I'm guessing they're all very correctable.
Yes, definitely. Just easy things. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot. We'll have a nice play on first down, jump off sides, or holding penalty or delay a game. So it was just little things that we can correct, that we can fix, and that we're going to fix and that we're going to correct.
Are these tough days at the office for you guys when you're coming off a loss, and especially kind of a rough go of it at that? Or do you look at these, I guess I'll ask you, as more of an opportunity?
More of an opportunity. I look at it as a positive. We're 7-2, like you said. Everybody lost in our division. Everybody came out healthy, so that's the biggest thing. And we know what kind of team we have, and we can regroup and get back to work and get back on the right side of the win column.
Do you kind of, I guess an odd question, but in some ways, don't you learn more about your team through something like this than when everything's going well?
Oh, you definitely do. It's definitely a test on your team, and it's a good test to see what kind of team you have, what kind of guys in the locker room you have, and it shows if you guys are going to stick together or dismantle and spread apart. And we have the guys in the locker room where we're going to stick together. It's a brotherhood, and we all want to succeed.
There you go, succeed, right? Keep it going, right, Mean Gene? So Aaron Rodgers, your leader, your quarterback, afterward, he said he didn't think, quote, the focus was there from the start and that you guys weren't, quote, locked in, and the energy and attention to detail need to be better. Any reason why some of that stuff, the energy wasn't there and the detail wasn't there? Anything you can put your finger on why that happened, or was it just one of those things?
No, nothing I could really put my finger on. They just came out with more energy. Like you said, we were flat, and you could see it, and they came out ready to play.
Did you sense that? How was the week of practice? Did you have a good week? Did you sense
we had a great week of practice. Leading up to it, preparation was great, so we felt good going into the game.
I'm wondering, too, young team, and also guys like yourself who are veterans, but this is really your first true taste of team success. Is there such thing as maybe having to learn how to win and cope with the success, or is that overstated?
No, I don't think so. We were 7-1 through those 7 games. Yeah. We stayed consistent. We stayed true to ourselves, and you'll have a slip up here and there, and that's all that was. And we're gonna get back to ourselves and play Green Bay Packer football.
How important now? Yeah, I heard somebody clapping over here. Staying even keel, right? I mean,
never too high, never too low. I always say that, and that's what it is. The league's a humbling league, and no matter what, you got to line up. You got to be ready to play every down because those guys get paid as well.
Yeah, ebbs and flows. Every team goes through it, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But even Aaron Rodgers said afterwards that everybody was served a piece of humble pie, and I'm guessing it didn't taste too good, did it?
Definitely not. Especially like the way their locker room's set up, you can hear them cheering, and we're just in there getting ready. So it's definitely not a good feeling and taste we don't like.
What was that place like? I mean, it's 30,000.
It was pretty cool. It was Packer Nation, Lambeau West.
Yeah, there you go. 30,000 seat soccer stadium. It's kind of a strange setup. A few more things, and then it's Ricardo's turn for the first audience question of the night. But all right, I got it right here. You guys responded. Your only other loss was to the Eagles, and then you peeled off 4 straight victories. How do you, Aaron Jones, as one of the evolving leaders of this team, expect your teammates to respond after what happened yesterday?
Just get back to work, and like I said, get back to ourselves. We know what we have to do. Just stay true to ourselves and rely on our brothers and coaches, and just play, like I said, play Green Bay Packer football.
It's a weird game, because it snowballs too, right? There was obviously some things in the game plan that I think had to probably just be scrapped due to situational things, down and distance, 3rd and longs, that sort of thing.
Definitely, and then only having maybe 5 offensive snaps in the first half,
right?
That weren't penalized, so that's kind of hard to get in a rhythm in the first half.
Definitely so. And then last thing, Aaron Jones, and again, this happens, Ricardo, all the time. When there's a loss, you go on social media, and it's the worst thing in the world. The sky's falling. So, Aaron, what is your What is your message to those anxious Packer fans, some angry Packer fans out there that think the season's suddenly over, right? It's done. I mean, come on, they're 7-2, everybody. They're in first place. Relax. Quarterback said that one time.
Yeah, it's just one game. We'll be back.
Hey, said they'll be back. You guys got to like that, too. Something to consider, right, Ricardo? Every home team won yesterday, and you saw the Patriots get kicked around, and the Dolphins won a game. So it's just a week-to-week league. You never know how it's going to shake out. So relax. The Packers are 7-2. They got a big home game coming up against the Panthers, right? And then it's the bye week. They can have some rest and relaxation. But somebody who can't rest and relax is that clown over there.
Yes.
That we call Ricardo, the Bear fan. Who do you got?
Oh, yeah, we got a familiar face here, Tracy Santos from Appleton. She has a question for Aaron. Go ahead, Tracy.
Hi, Aaron. What happens at halftime, especially when adjustments need to be made? Does the team stay together for a meeting, or do you split into offense, defense, or just the coaches meeting?
They split into offense and defense, and then the coaches meet first, and then they come to us. The offensive coaches will come to the offensive players as a group, and defense will do the same thing, and we'll meet for about 5 minutes, and then special teams will meet with everybody, and then we'll go back out on the field.
Interesting. Thanks, Tracy, for the question. We appreciate it. That's a condensed halftime, though. There's not a whole lot of time.
Yeah, halftime seems a lot longer when you watch it on TV than in actual time.
Get in the locker room, 5 minutes, and bam, you're back out there. There's probably not a whole lot you can do. So let's take a timeout, and I'm going to do tonight's Stat Pack. And we're going to file this one, Aaron, under the category of strange and unusual, because I'm not sure why this is why it is. But the Packers are 32-12 in the month of October, dating back to the 2008 season. That's Aaron Rodgers' first season as a starter, 32-12. That ranks as the second best in the NFC over that span, and the third best in the league. Green Bay 4-0 this last month in October. Only one of 5 teams to win 4 games in October. The Packers plus 36-point differential in the month ranked 5th in the league. New England and New Orleans are the only teams with better October records dating back to the 2008 season. And lastly, Aaron Jones led the NFL with 7 October touchdowns this season. So you guys like the month of October, and I don't know why that is.
It's a good month.
It's a great month. It's starting to get a little chilly. The colors are turning. Everybody's in the mood for football, and it's all that good stuff. So, Ricardo, we've got some more good stuff up here. We got trivia again.
Yes, we do, but we have to lay down some rules first, Brad. So here we go. First off, we'll ask the question. If you think you know the answer, you got to raise your hand. Please don't shout it out. And Brett, again, when you win, again, Brett and Aaron, what do they win if you get the answer right?
Pizza and beer.
There you go, Aaron. Thanks you. Again. But once you win, you're out for the rest of the show. And sorry, live chatters, you got to be here to win. But again, Sammy West here to my left, she is monitoring that online trivia contest.
Yes, I'm asking the first one. Everybody loves pizza and beer at the Clubhouse, so let's see who goes home with the first. Grizzly Dan over there wants some. The Packers' first ever opponent on Monday Night Football was against this current AFC West team. Packers' first ever Monday Night Football, AFC West. How about this guy? Not the Raiders. Yes. Give it to Dale over there. He gets the bell. See how I tied that together, Ricardo?
Back the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, I still want to call them the San Diego Chargers as well. That was in November or week 4, I should say, of 1970. The Packers beat the then San Diego Chargers 22-20. Bart Starr threw 158 yards, and 2 touchdowns to Jack Clancy and John Hilton in the victory. I've never heard of those wide receivers. So there you go, but the great Bart Starr. So, hey, you got a good guest tonight.
Definitely
you always
do.
bring good guests, but this is going to be a fun one.
Yes, sir.
Should I give him the rundown, the resume?
I think you should.
Hold on, Alan. This is going to take a while, so just sit tight. Our guest tonight is in his 2nd NFL season, both with the Packers. He was signed to the Packers' active roster from the Jaguars practice squad last December. Our guest tonight has appeared in all 9 games this season for the Packers, and so far, 15 receptions for 193 yards and 1 big touchdown, right? Remember that score? Our guest tonight burst onto the scene in Green Bay's Week 6 victory over the Lions, finishing with a career-high 4 catches for a career-high 65 yards and that 35-yard touchdown, right? All of which came in the 4th quarter after his quarterback said, get him in the game, right? He wanted number 13 in there. Our guest tonight played collegiately at Iowa State, where he finished as the Cyclones' career leader in receptions, receiving yards, and 100-yard receiving games, which earned him all Big 12 honors twice to become one of just 2 offensive players in program history to achieve that accolade. How about that? Big college career. Our guest tonight caught a pass in all 48 games in which he appeared at Iowa State. He once tied a national record while in high school and would one day like to own, get this, Aaron, a pet lion. Have we heard that before?
We definitely have.
We have. What's going on? Give it up.
I won't be going over his house either.
Give it up for Green Bay Packers wide receiver, number 13, Allen Lazard. We'll talk about the pet lion and where I found that little nugget of information. I was doing some good stalking today.
I can see.
But because this is, we call him Showtime. That's his nickname, Showtime, because this is Showtime's show and you are his guest. Showtime always asks the first question.
Okay, I guess my question would be, how hard was it to stay patient throughout the whole process, like from your career, like knowing how good you are, and you feel like you should have been drafted, or even in Jacksonville you should have been active. Just staying patient to all the way now, like. How much patience has that taken? How did you do that?
It was pretty hard, definitely at first, knowing that I had the talent and capabilities to go out there and play. Because most importantly, down in Jacksonville, I just wanted to help my team win, and we weren't doing that. And so that's what made it the hardest. But I would say to see where I am now today, just knowing that all the hard work and patience paid off, it helps me realize that nothing that you want in life happens overnight. It's got to take a lot of time, a lot of time and dedication and work put in.
There you go. Good question. Good start. So we're going to do something a little bit different, Aaron. I want you to tell everybody about this guy. What does he bring to the locker room? What does he bring to the offense? How high is this guy's ceiling as a wide receiver? Brag him up. This is your opportunity to brag up your teammate.
He brings a lot to the offense. You see how big this guy is.
He's a big dude.
I'm pretty sure you see how big his hands are. He's a deep threat. He's a jump ball guy. We can use him. He's great at blocking. He's a perfect receiver. He's everything you want in a receiver and everything you ask. He's smart. He gets guys lined up. He helps us, like me and Jamal. Danny helps us learn the plays, and he helps like just little tips and things like that. And he's a great team player. He gets the guys going, and he's always in our ear. Every time we go out there on the field, hey, let's go. This is our drive. And so when you have a guy like that, he's going to keep you motivated every drive, and you're going to do your best.
Yeah, how about that? Bringing some energy. All right, now let's not talk football stuff, Aaron. Give us some dirt. Give us some stuff we need to know about Allen Lazard. Does he snore in the hotel? I mean, come on.
Nah, he's a very good basketball player. Ooh. Very good basketball player.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure my high school coach knows that too.
Message to the high school coach back like in Iowa. Yeah.
Devin Booker, if you know Devin Booker.
Sure.
Yeah, we play a little bit in the offseason. Yeah. Play.
I'm telling you, I'm still holding on to that challenge to you, Aaron. I challenged him to a shooting contest. Now listen, I'm much older than you guys.
I bring his money. That's what I told
No, you said to bring my car.
Oh, car. Hey, that's even better. That's even better.
I'm very confident in my shooting abilities, but I'm not going to put up my car for the weird time when I would have an off day. So I'm not going to do that.
Aaron shoots about every day in the team locker room. So
really?
Yeah. So he's always making sure he's getting the shots and staying hot.
We're going to find a gym somewhere around here, and we're going to record it.
Just send me the address. I'll be there.
Huh? He'll pull up from anywhere.
We'll tape it. We'll videotape it too, Brad.
I want to make sure that you understand what I'm saying. This is not an actual game of one-on-one. I'm not going to take on an NFL athlete here.
I can shoot.
But I can shoot a little bit too. I'm just saying I can spot up and shoot a little bit.
You're scaring him, Aaron.
When I was little, it was endless hours of jump shots in the gym. So I got you.
Anyway,
I think he's scared.
He's testing me.
I think he's scared.
He's testing.
I think so too.
He's testing me right now. He wants me to just I got to
Put the car up.
Let me ask my wife if I can do that first.
All right.
I need to check with my wife if that's okay.
Okay.
She's the boss. All right, and then I need to call my insurance agent
And
on
tell
top
her,
of that.
Tell her if you and your kids have a car in the future. So.
What kind of a car do you have? Do you still have that 03 Explorer?
Yeah.
He still is driving that 2003
Whoa.
Explorer.
That's why I'm trying to get your car.
But my car's a Honda Civic. You want that thing?
What year is it?
It's a 2013. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah,
you
I'll
could
take
squeeze into that. You're a little big for that. But
I'll
you
take
and I
it
could-
though. I'll
Huh?
take it.
Yeah, you would take it. It's a newer vehicle. I tell you what. Let's move on. We'll talk about this after the show.
It's 10 years younger.
Yeah. I don't think I want an 03 Explorer.
No. That wasn't part of the bet. You don't get to keep my car. I get your car and my car.
Oh, you get to keep both cars?
Yeah, if I win, that's how a bet works.
Well, yeah, but what
you
if
don't
I
exchange.
That's not a bet then.
Pat
That's
on the
not
back.
happening.
What if I win?
That's
Well,
not happening.
he's starting to tick me off a little bit. I'm not that bad. And Ricardo, I know you can vouch for me.
No, he's good. Brett's really good for, older guy.
I said I'm a middle-aged man,
Yes,
okay?
old-
Relax.
Old, middle-aged, whatever you want to call it.
You expect me to believe somebody who's a Bears fan?
Ooh, there we go.
I missed that. What was that?
He just ripped on you. Never mind. It's fine.
Oh, I don't play basketball. Brett's seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen you go 0 for 10 and see how quick I was in catching that? That's athleticism right there.
Moving on.
Agility. I want to talk to you. A pet lion. Now, I found this. I was digging deep for stuff about you today, and you once said in a Q&A when you were in high school that you want to maybe one day own a pet lion, which is fascinating to me because Rashawn Gary last week said the same thing.
And I told him I would not be visiting him.
Why not?
Man, that's scary.
Okay, obviously I'd get the lion when it was young, and I would nurture it, take care of it, get to know it.
I need that lion to be sedated when I come.
Yeah, a lion. I don't know. I don't think you can declaw
Just keep it
those
in a
things.
cage or something.
I'll have a room for it. So
Okay. I'm cool with that. I can come
won't
over
just be
there.
roaming around.
He's going to stick it in a
I'm
room
still
that,
gonna be
obviously
looking over my shoulder.
he'll be able to claw his way out of one. Why a lion? What is the fascination with
Well, my favorite movie growing up was Lion King.
Yeah.
So hence the lion. But yeah, I just loved it. I loved the Hakuna Matata phrase. Just something I kind of always lived by.
If you get a Simba, I'll come then.
Yeah,
If you
something.
get a
See?
Simba.
Okay, so, no, you can't be fake.
No.
didn't
If
wanna
he's
come over
nice like
before?
Simba, then I'll come.
Well, you think I was gonna have Mufasa?
You never know.
Come on now.
No, I'm messing with you.
A pet lion. I'd be. That's interesting. A pet lion. So, I mentioned also in the intro that you tied a national record. Check this out, Aaron. Your sophomore year at Urbandale High School at suburban Des Moines, right?
Yes, sir.
Check this out. Allen Lazard, 3 interceptions for touchdowns in a single quarter back in high school.
Yikes.
Sophomore year, I believe.
First game of the season.
First game of the season, and that tied, according to the bio, a national record.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you still hold that mark?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or whatever. 3 and a quarter, or 3.5.
How many touchdowns did you have that game?
Well, I end up having 2 punt returns get called back.
Oh.
2. So,
Man, you was having
yeah, I didn't have any. I didn't really play receiver then either. I was just mainly a free safety. So.
So take us back. 3 picks. I mean, at the last one, are you just laughing at the guys?
Yeah,
the opponents, or-
because literally like it was 3rd and like 8 or something like that. It was 3rd and long, so I knew they were gonna pass the ball, and it was like an air raid offense, and they like subbed in the receiver from their sideline, and I was over there, and I had watched the coach look at the quarterback and say, "Throw it to him." And so I'm like, "All right, I'll sit in the middle of the field." As soon as the quarterback turns his head, took off, pick. The rest is history.
And you're high stepping and you're doing the Aaron Jones wave as you're going into the sideline or
Yeah,
into the end zone.
I didn't
right?
have that much swag back then.
I think it's more impressive that he caught 48 balls in 48 games.
Yes.
That's a hard streak.
That is. I think I
Yeah.
read where that was like the longest active streak at the time or something
Yeah,
when you
so
graduated,
That's
right?
a tough streak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every game I played in.
That's amazing, right? Iowa State doing his things with the Cyclones. Well, Ricardo, we have Iowa State connections near here. Tyrese Halliburton, the very talented guard,
Yes,
Oshkosh
sir.
North, just down the road.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
good friend of ours. He's been
Very
on,
good friend.
We've
Good
live
guy.
streamed their games numerous times. He's been on some of our other shows.
Great player.
AJ Klein, now with the Saints.
Yes,
He's
sir.
a Kimberly High School graduate. So we
Oh.
like Iowa State around here.
David Montgomery, Bears running back.
We don't care.
Oh.
We don't care about. We're talking local,
Yeah.
local athletes. Local athletes.
Twice a year, I can't. He's not my friend.
Yeah, but great guy though, right? Great player.
Great guy. Yeah. That's my homeboy. But 2 times a year, we gotta square up.
All right, gotcha.
Tyrese, future NBA prospect.
Yes, great player.
Looking pretty good for.
Absolutely excited for the season coming up. For
Yeah,
him.
they're gonna
Be a
look.
good one.
They're gonna look real good talking basketball. But your father and your brother went to Ames, right? So was that the kind of the deciding factor why you decided to go? Because I saw you had some offers from like Notre Dame, Iowa, Nebraska, some other those types of schools.
Yeah. When I committed, Iowa State was in a positive direction. They're going to a bowl game with Coach Rhodes and whatnot. But then my brother being there on the team played a huge role just because I had that kind of easy transition into college and kind of learning what college life is about, how to be an athlete, how to work hard, and he's someone I've always looked up to. And obviously my dad being there, if anyone knows my dad's one of the most passionate guys, just for his children in general, but especially for Iowa State because he played there. And he very much influenced me and kind of made me into an Iowa State fan since birth, so it was kind of just in the cards to go there.
Had to go to Ames. So how much, Allen, do you hate Iowa?
Ooh. I mean, now that I'm not playing anymore, I can. And now, I have Josh Jackson, Brian Balaga, one of our D-line coaches, Coach Montgomery. So I mean, they've kind of grown on me as the season's gone, but definitely still sour taste in my mouth.
Who was UTEP's big rival back when you played?
New Mexico State.
New Mexico State. Do you guys, was that a trophy game?
Yes, we have a spittoon and a shovel. So.
Hey, whatever works. A spittoon and a shovel. What was the Iowa State game? You guys played for something for that.
Yeah, the Cy-Hawk Trophy.
Okay.
Of course, just naturally, it's corn.
Iowa.
So,
hey, Badgers!
cool.
Badgers in Iowa this Saturday at Camp Randall. That's a trophy game too. But is that the Heartland Trophy?
Was that the slab of bacon one? Which one is that one?
There's a pig one too, but that might be Iowa, Minnesota. I
Okay,
can't
all
remember. There's too
Yeah,
many
that
trophies.
big one's Iowa, Minnesota.
Yeah. So, Aaron kind of touched on it. But undrafted wide receiver. Now you're emerging as a key weapon for the 7-2 Packers. How'd you do it? We've asked some of the other undrafted guys that have been on the show that have been Aaron's guests too, but how'd you make it? How did it happen?
Just kind of like what Aaron had originally asked me. I just really stuck with the process. Coach Campbell, who was my college coach my last 2 years, was just really big in following the process, just trusting that if you keep putting in hard work day in and day out, that you will see progress, and nothing's going to be drastically changing overnight. And if you really just stick with it and you work hard enough and you're dedicated and you put your love and effort into it, big things will happen, and that's what I did. And I mean, this whole big stepping up into a role thing, like, it isn't new to me. Like, that's what I did in college. So it's more so just no one else expected it. I did. So it's pretty natural.
Yeah. Piece of cake. Well, we asked Aaron this, I guess, a few weeks ago about being drafted 5th round. He thought he should have been higher. He thought he was better than a number of the other running backs taken. I'm going to ask you the same thing. Do you feel like, did you feel slighted come draft time? Has that been a chip, a motivator for you?
Yeah. Whenever the first punter got took, that's when that really sunk in.
Okay.
No offense, but that's
it
just kind of
JK?
like, no, it was Michael Dickinson, I think, Seahawks punter. But,
See, they remember these.
But I mean, now that dude's good. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the best in the league, besides JK. But I think, like you said, just going undrafted, it kind of just sunk in on really just on how much more work and more progress I have to make to be able to make it in this league.
Speaking of mindset, was it tough staying up when you were cut in the final cut downs going into this season? But then it was a whirlwind. All of a sudden, you were able to come back to the Packers and sign to the practice squad, and then you're on the active roster right away for that Week 1 game, and I think you saw action on special teams right away. So
Yeah.
I guess take us through that whirlwind. There's a lot of emotions probably going on, I'm thinking, because you had a great preseason.
Yeah, obviously felt like had earned a spot on the team, something that I worked hard for, but also knew that there's also a business side, and there's very limited numbers in the league. Was it 53 active people and only 46 dress up? So that's how it's unreal. I mean, my perspective of the NFL was completely changed once I got here and realized how small the teams were and whatnot. But yeah, getting cut wasn't the funnest of things, but I just knew, like I said, just sticking with the progress that eventually this year I was going to be able to be active, at least somewhere, if not hopefully here with the Packers. And once I got my chances to hit the ground running with it.
Were you thinking your time in Green Bay was done at that point, or were you thinking, well, maybe I can still?
I really didn't know. I mean, at that point, because of waivers and how they work, you could be going anywhere. So I was hoping it wasn't. I was praying it wasn't, and I'm very glad it's not.
Right, and here he is doing good things on the field. So a lot of focus, attention came your way when Devontae Adams went down with a turf toe injury, and I remember back, and I remember seeing the interview, but kind of the media contingent comes to Allen Lazard now and says, "Are you ready?" And you said, "Absolutely." Where did that confidence come from? That you, no matter what, at some point you were ready to take the field?
Yeah, so kind of going back to when I first got here, back in December, I think it was week 16, week 15. I knew that the season at that point was over, so I knew that I couldn't really contribute too much at that point to help the team. But I knew that coming back next year, that if I put enough work in the offseason and whatnot and stuck with it, that I could be able to help the team come this season. And like I had said, just sticking with the process, just working hard and just really just visualizing myself being able to play underneath those lights, playing with guys like Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, and Bakhtiari and guys like that, to be able to go out there and make those big plays.
Well, you mentioned, that was my next question for you, and you were on the Jacksonville practice squad last year. You got signed to the Packers active roster. I think you spent the first 15 weeks last season with the Jags, and then all of a sudden the Packers come calling, and you had invested all that time in Jacksonville. So were you excited at the time? Were you thinking, I kind of want to see this thing out with Jacksonville? I know what's going. I'm familiar. I'm comfortable with the offense. I guess take us through the mindset of a player. You got to quickly pack up and head to a new locker room.
Yeah, I was pretty excited just because just the history here at Lambeau with the Packers and the championships, and obviously being, like I said, being able to play alongside guys like Aaron Jones and A-Rod and whatnot. So it was a pretty easy decision just to be able to decide to come here because I knew that this was a team that had a very large potential of being able to go win a Super Bowl.
Now, Aaron, when this guy came to a town late last season, could you see it right away when this? Whoa, this is a big kid, big target. Definitely. I like this addition.
It definitely is a guy you can't miss. Walks in the room and it's a huge human being, and he's been a joy to have on our team. Competitor, and I love him.
Yeah,
What's funny is that when Aaron had got hurt last year and went on IR, I was the one who came and replaced him actively, actually.
Okay, there you go.
Wow.
So yeah. So we actually
there you go.
He ended up helping me. So.
A little connection here.
I'm helping him now.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah. See, it's like I feel like it's almost like a love connection up here. It's like brotherly love or something like that, Ricardo. How influential, I should say, has Devontae been in your growth of receivers? He's been a mentor to you.
Just be able to work with a guy like him. He's such a hard worker, and he runs his routes just so uniquely and so differently. So just being able to study his game has really elevated my game. And then just his leadership has been huge. Obviously, his departure, not being able to play, has been obviously not helpful for the team. But be able to have him back is huge, and I'm excited to see him back out there again.
Best piece of advice he's given you so far?
Just to stick with the process and just keep grinding. He said he was just really proud of me of being able to step up in the Lions game, and that, that's only one game. And now I got to prove it every single Sunday. Yeah,
well, he's been making some big catches since that Lions game, too. Before, it looks like I might be kicking it over to Sammy in a second, but just before I do, I wanted to ask you about that Lions game. What did it mean to you, Allen, to have your quarterback say, get 13 in the game? I want to see this guy out here. I think he can make some plays. He had your back. You earned his trust. I mean, for a young wide receiver, that's a big thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that's just something that I've been working on since I came here last December. Knowing that at the end of the day, the biggest trust needs to be between me and the quarterback, and to be able to have his trust out there, ultimately is the biggest goal, because that way we're on the same page, and we can go out there and be able to do what we did.
Was it a little surreal? Maybe Rosie, put that picture back up there. That's the catch. There it is, the touchdown catch against the Lions.
Really good throw.
It was a great throw, great
Pretty good
catch.
throw,
Great execution on both ends. But there had to be a little bit of a moment of being surreal out there. We're like, wow, this is really happening. It's under the lights.
I definitely blacked out a little bit after I scored. Definitely just a lot of like oxytocin just going through my body. But yeah, at first when I caught it, I didn't think I was in, because I had like landed and like saw the pylon. So that's why I stood up and looked at the ref, and I saw him raise his arms, and after that, I don't remember.
You're out. You still have the football?
Definitely. It sits in my room.
Gotta keep that.
Gotta keep that football. Don't play with it on Thanksgiving morning, right, Ricardo? That stays under a case. But I'm going to kick it over to Sammy. Looks like we got some chatters online tonight.
Oh, we do. We actually have a very strong showing from across the continental U.S. 18 states tonight. Lots of Iowa fans, lots of very hopeful Packers fans. So no sign of a loss, so I will just get over to the question. MD Lovelace on Facebook wants to know, usually the team travels the night before the game. This weekend, you guys went on Friday instead. How does that affect your normal routine? Do you get any more or less free time to explore when this happens?
Yeah, that's our Facebook question, Aaron.
Usually when we travel, when we play on the West Coast, we leave a day early so we could acclimate it with the time. There's a 2-hour time difference.
And then with daylight savings.
As well. So jet lag. So it's a lot involved with it. You do have a little bit more time. We practice in the morning. We have meetings. And so usually we would get there around 3:30. We're just free at 2, so not that much more free time. But
cool.
So, I mean, it helps us leaving a day early, though.
But you guys are creatures of habit. Does that mess up with the routine? Because normally you like to go on a Saturday, check in, do your thing, and.
I would say it's pretty much the same thing we would do for a home game. It's the same amount of free time. I mean, just a little bit of the time as we're spent traveling. So or just in a different city.
That one is a 4.5-hour flight.
Yeah, that is a long flight to
and
go
then
to
the
the
next
West
day
Coast.
you're playing, so that wouldn't. Legs wouldn't be there, body wouldn't be there.
I'm guessing it'll be the same setup when you guys go out to San Francisco in a couple weeks. You probably leave Friday. So, Sammy, what does MD win? He gets a cool prize, doesn't he?
Yeah, for having his question selected, MD wins a signed photo of Aaron Jones. Each week we'll ask you to submit a question for our upcoming guest that we'll ask live during Monday's show. Look for it on Facebook.com/ClubhouseLive.
There we go. Thank you, MD, for the social media question. And before I take our second time out, I wanted to finish that thought about with the Lions game. But again, catches of 12, 3, and 15 yards on what proved to be the Packers' game-winning drive that night. That included a couple of big first down catches, too. Remember that? Coming up big in crunch time. But I saw this. Is it true that you started yourself in fantasy football that week?
I did.
He did.
Oh!
By accident.
That's big time.
By accident.
By accident.
By accident. Because we played Monday night, I didn't set my lineup because I usually do it in the hotel on Saturdays. So we were in the hotel Sunday night, and so they had already started the game, and I think T.Y. Hilton had a bye. And so I had to sit him on my bench, and I was on my bench. I was like, all right, well, looks like I got to win the game this week.
And look at this. Starts
won the
himself
game
in a
that
big week. Bold move, showing that confidence we were talking about. All right. Did you win?
Yes, yeah.
There you go. Even better yet.
He won himself the week.
He won himself by being really good on the football field by himself. So do you have a fantasy team?
I do. I draft my team and don't make any changes from week 1.
See, you're no fun to play with.
Somehow I always do good, though. So
Did you
just
draft
get the first
yourself,
pick.
though, Aaron?
of course,
All
RB1.
right, that's cool. There you go.
Yes,
RB1.
Ricardo. And let's hear about your great fantasy
No,
team.
I just was curious to see if he drafted himself. I think that's funny.
I'd hope
Cool.
so.
There you go.
Ricardo does have Aaron Jones on his team. I know he's been
Last
very
year,
happy.
my brother drafted me and kind of held me hostage. He was like, "I'll trade you Tariq Hill and OBJ." I'm like, I don't score as many points as them combined, but I guess I do.
That's funny, hearing about the NFL guys playing fantasy football. I tell you what, let's take a lot of time out. Ricardo, it's time for trivia question number 2 before we get
and
this
this
thing
is
going.
a good one here. We mentioned that 1970 Packers-Charger game. That was Green Bay's first Monday Night Football appearance. Well, who was the Packers coach for that season?
In 1970.
And I know there's a lot of people here who saw that season.
Bob, did you win already? Let's go back there by the bar. Yes, he got it. Phil Bankston. Come on up, get your pizza and beer. Everybody remember him? Phil Bankston. He succeeded the great Vince Lombardi, coached the Packers for 3 seasons. He guided the Packers to a 6-8 record in his 3rd and final season as their head coach. That was in 1970. Aaron Jones, Showtime, giving up the pizza and beer gift certificate. There we go. And it's just that easy to hand out pizza and beer. And you know what else it's easy to do, Ricardo? It's time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge. We need Ron and Bob and Rosie. We need some music. Come on. Ron, you're right here. You're Aaron's playing partner tonight. Bob, you are with Allen. Ron, you're right here. Bob, you'll go in between the guys so we can get you on camera. Come on in between the 2 guys, Bob. There we go. No, Ron, happy to have you on stage, but okay. Here's the thing, Ron. You need to back off. You're a little close to me. No. Give me my space. You're way too close to me. Give me my space. Wipe myself off. I get all nervous and flustered. It is bad. I need my imaginary space. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We are going to play another game that we call How Well Do You Know? We're going back to the original. I had fun with it last week. It's not a physical challenge. It is a mental challenge. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. They each pertain to the same category. If you think you know the answer, you ring the bell. You can even interrupt a question. I'll, of course, not finish it, but if you think you know the answer, go ahead. Ricardo over there will keep track. Each question is worth 1 point. You can add, I know that. And at the end of the 5 questions, there's a bonus question of a point total that I'll determine to make sure Aaron wins the game. It is his show.
Come on.
It is his show. Now, this is what you're playing for tonight. The winner tonight, and you are playing for your partners, guys. Look at this. A Miller Lite Packers
really nice.
glass. You can fit a lot of beer in there, guys, can't you? A lot of beer in there, or soda. The winner also gets a cool photo signed by Showtime, Aaron Jones. How about a USA Today Network Wisconsin ice scraper, Grizzly Dan? It's getting cold outside, and of course, you know we always do this, Aaron. We always give away the MVP CDs.
Yeah.
Eric lives here. Mike Thiel, our official Clubhouse Live music, is on that CD. The runner-up tonight goes home with everything except the glass.
All right.
Unless we want to throw Ricardo in and get rid of him once and for all.
No.
Nobody
You're
wants.
keeping me forever, my friend.
Nobody wants to go home with Ricardo. So you guys need the category tonight. And the category is Scotty stuff. Scotty stuff. Wisconsin stuff. We
I
are
was
called
like, I didn't even
Scotties.
know what that was.
How well,
We're off to a bad start.
Aaron, what does Scotty mean? Scotty stuff.
Wisconsin stuff.
How well do you guys know Wisconsin? You are now Wisconsinites, right? You
Close
guys
enough.
should know what this state is all about. Hey, Rosie, how about some how well do you know music, please?
They're about beer and fish fry. I win.
Cheese
I win
curds.
cheese curds.
None of those are answers to my questions tonight. So here we go. Trivia question number
Badger.
1. It is the most classic question of all Scotty questions. What is a bubbler? Aaron.
Water fountain.
Yes, Ricardo score.
I knew that
1-0,
too.
Aaron.
A drinking fountain. We'll go with a water fountain. Specifically a drinking fountain, but we'll
fountain.
accept that.
Water
1-0
fountain.
Aaron Jones. What's that?
Water fountain.
I still don't understand how it's a bubbler.
I don't know either. It just is.
It doesn't even bubble.
It just bubbles. It's a bubbler.
Yeah, bubbles up.
It bubbles up, says Bob.
Well, then a faucet bubbles.
Just accept it for what it is. It's a bubbler.
It's a bubbler.
It's a bubbler. Trivia question number 2. What, guys, is Wisconsin's state nickname?
No,
Aaron Jones.
Badger.
Huh?
Badger State.
Yes, Ricardo scored the Badger
2-0
State.
Aaron. And only the players can ring
Yes,
the bell.
Bob, what are you doing up there? You know what? I have to do it. I'm throwing a penalty flag on Bob. One more of those and you're out of the game. Ricardo, well, you can help in other ways.
2-0 Aaron.
2-0 Aaron. He knew Bubbler and Badger State. Trivia question number 3. This slogan that recognizes a longtime state industry can be seen at the bottom of a Wisconsin license plate. Allen.
Wisconsin's Dairyland.
No. Almost, but not quite. Not Wisconsin's Dairyland.
America's Dairyland.
Can you please ring the bell to make it official?
America's Dairyland.
Yeah.
America's Dairyland. Ricardo score.
3-0 Aaron.
3-0 Aaron. Bob, America's Dairyland. But not specific. We do have an accounting firm watching these questions, making sure that they're legally said and answered correctly. Trivia question number 4, guys. Deer hunters wear this color when they trudge into the woods for the annual gun deer season. Allen.
Blaze orange.
Yes, Ricardo score.
3-1 AJ.
Blaze orange.
Got it.
I felt like I had to kind of get it out of him.
Yeah, it was on the tip of my tongue. I just had to spit it out.
Blaze orange. That's coming soon. You going hunting, Ricardo?
I don't hunt, no.
Okay. That's
It's more like waiting, really, in the deer
You know what? You know a lot of people do that. They do bear hunting around here.
No, they don't.
Yes. Trivia question number 5, 3-1 Aaron Jones. This main ingredient of this popular state cocktail is brandy. It can be garnished with yes, Aaron Jones.
Old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned.
Oh.
A brandy old-fashioned.
4-1 Aaron.
4-1 Aaron Jones. Yeah, you can garnish it with cherries and all. It's very tasty, especially when it starts to get cold and paired with a good old-fashioned fish fry. Right, Grizzly Dan? Yeah. All right, so now we're on to our bonus question, and I'm going to make it worth 4 points. I'm going to make it so that Allen can still win the game.
There you go, 4-point bonus.
Got
A
it.
4-point bonus question. Guys, what is a Youper? Aaron.
Somebody from up north Michigan, the UP.
Yes, the Upper Peninsula, the Youpers. Aaron Jones said it perfectly as his contestant was whispering in his ear. That's good enough. Rosie, some championship music because Ron is going home with the glass tonight. Bob, never fear, we're going to be giving away those later on this season as well. You get the signed photo. You get the ice scraper. You're going to need that pretty soon. And don't forget about the CD. Bob, same thing for you, except no glass tonight, but you get all these great prizes as well. Hey, a round of applause for our playing partners tonight. A Youper. A guy from, or a lady, anybody from Michigan's Upper Peninsula, which really should be part of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I never understood the whole.
It should be.
Whoa, they don't want it.
They
to
don't
be
want.
part
We
of
don't
it.
want
Whoa.
Michigan.
All
We're
right.
good enough as our own
Okay.
state, right, Ricardo?
Yeah.
Whew. All right. It's time to give out some prizes as we start to wind down the show. Another hour is come and gone, just flies by.
Flies by.
It's like a therapeutic show, right? Feels
It
good
is.
after this one. Everybody's in a good mood. Alan, I've got some stuff for you. I've got some prizes. I've got some stuff for your man cave, right? You got a man cave somewhere at home, right?
Absolutely.
Is home still Iowa?
No, home is Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado
Wow.
now.
Cool.
Interesting.
I love the mountains.
Love the mountains. Well, how about some stuff for your man cave nestled in the mountains somewhere? And the first picture is, check out this photo of a great catch. Lambeau Field. Show it on the monitor, Rosie, if you don't mind. Or maybe not. There it is on the monitor.
Oh,
A
I love
leaping
that.
grab against the Oakland Raiders. Lambeau Field in the background. I'm going to say something, Alan. Your vertical reminds me of my vertical. I mean, it's about as high as I can jump. I'm a little bit higher, but there you go.
Thank you.
What are you laughing about?
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see you jump on the stage from the ground right there.
Not right now, but I'll show you. I'll show you. There's no need for a trampoline, Dale. And look at this. This is back in the Ames days, Iowa State. Show
There
it
we
on
go.
the monitor. Well, there he is. Look at Allen Lazard. Looking good in the red and yellow, right? That is for you as well, my friend.
Thank you.
And you
Thank
can't go home without an MVP CD.
I need that.
Cherish that. Very good. So what do you think?
Thank you.
Number 5. Any reason for number 13?
Yeah, I just showed up and it was in my locker.
That's what you wore.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been good luck to you for you so far.
Yeah, apparently.
Keep it going. Keep it going. More with you guys as we wind down, but I saw this in a Q&A with you. Now, I could be misreading it, but it was during your high school days again, in which you said if you could tell one person thanks, it would be Karl Malone?
Oh, yeah.
For telling me to always stand tall. Now, are we talking about Karl Malone, the Utah Jazz legend?
Yep.
Did you have a meeting with him?
So this would have been my sophomore year going to my junior year. This is like right when recruiting started picking up. I just got an offer from Iowa State and Iowa. I went down to LSU for a football camp because Tyrann Mathieu was like one of my biggest idols, whatever, at the time when he was at LSU. So I wanted to go there, and plus I had my dad's side of the family's from Louisiana, so I was down there at the camp, 3-day camp, and I remember I was doing drills, whatever, and me being an Iowa boy going down to LSU in June was a little bit of a wake-up call of what the dirty South is. And so it was super hot, whatever. And I was just really tired during the drill, so I was bending over on my knees. And Karl Malone's son, who ended up eventually going to LSU for a little bit, he was there at the camp. And obviously, kids talk, there's Karl Malone, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, obviously I had known him before that as well. But he had said, hey, make sure you stand up, it was kind of just something very subtle, but just reminded me to always keep going hard and keep pushing.
Nice. I like that, Aaron. Allen Lazard, Karl Malone, the mailman. Before we continue our conversation, though, I'm getting flagged down. Ricardo, you do have another audience question, it looks like.
I do, and this is our buddy Dale from Kaukauna. Dale, your question for Allen?
I got to call an audible here because you answered my question. But so as an undrafted free agent, what is it like suiting up on game day for the 13-time world champions?
It's crazy, honestly. I mean, especially just being a small kid from Iowa. Not too many people from where I'm from have made it to a national scale, other than really like Harrison Barnes, I would say. But just to be able to play for this very successful organization, and to play alongside a future Hall of Famer as well, something that I don't take for granted every day. And I know what it's like to be on the practice squad, and I know what it's like to be starting in the NFL, and I like starting a lot better.
There we go. Good job, Dale.
Great question.
Same Q&A, Allen, to wrap up. Your then coach would tell you big players step up in big-time games. Is that another thing that has stuck with you and is fuel for you? Is that a high school coach?
No, I mean, it was just, I think Deion Sanders said that back in the day. Big-time players step in big-time games. But yeah, that's just something I've always tried to do, is just always do whatever I can to help the team win, whether it's offense or special teams. Just always going out there giving my all and just making sure my 10 other teammates on the field know that.
Okay, and Aaron, here we go. On to the next, right? You erase everything that happened last week, learn from it. What's it going to take to make sure that doesn't linger and you guys are ready to go and take on the Panthers? They got a tough team coming to Lambeau.
Well, we're back in Lambeau, so there's going to be a lot of energy there. We can't wait to be back in our home stadium. Just come out, play our game, feed off each other, offense feed off defense, defense feed off special teams, and just play the brand of football we've been playing and get back to us. And no mental mistakes, no shooting ourselves in the foot, and we'll be good.
Here we go. Hey, how about a round of applause for Allen Lazard and Aaron Jones tonight? We'll skip trivia question number 3. We'll give away this last pizza and beer gift certificate at the end of the show. But Ricardo, hey, it's time to go up north. This is where we pick. It's Packers and it's Panthers. Who are you going with, Ricardo?
Well, I picked the Packers to win last week, and that didn't happen. I don't know what's going on there, but I think Christian McCaffrey will have 300 yards and 6 touchdowns. It's going to be a Panthers win. You heard me. That's right.
Boo.
Panthers win.
You got Aaron Jones booing you, and you got Allen Lazard looking like he wants to snap you in two right about now.
Yeah, I didn't say they're not going to do well.
Well, I'm putting the victory visor back on the head because I always do that. It's always good luck, huh?
It's
Packers
not
are going to win.
Not undefeated, though.
Not anymore, but hey, there's still a lot of
Just
magic.
one.
A lot of magic in this visor. It's going to be another tough game. It's going to be 28-24. Can the Packers defense slow down Christian McCaffrey. Two of the top touchdown guys going at it, right? McCaffrey and Aaron Jones, number 1 and 2 in the league in touchdowns scored. I think the offense gets back on track. I'm calling for a touchdown from Allen, 2 touchdowns from Aaron Jones, and everybody's going to be celebrating a big Packers victory. Mean Gene, do you like it? 28-24. Hey, quarterback Kyle Allen, come on, guys. I mean, he's crashing back down to earth a little bit, but hey, he's still doing some good stuff for the Panthers. But I like you guys winning that game, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, indeed. Ricardo, Packers News app.
Yes, with exclusive commentary, insider analysis, and award-winning photos and videos from USA Today Network, Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. The Packers News app is your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Green Bay Packers. The app is available for iPhone and Android users only, Brett.
Yes, it's my turn. I was getting the footballs already, but special thank you once again to our sponsors, Superior Discount Liquors. Check them out in Green Bay, Manitowoc, and Sheboygan, or find them online at superiordiscountliquors.com. Don't forget about Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Play Wednesday night wins with your club card now through November 13th. Find out more at paysbig.com/fallwins. Mayfield Sports Marketing, right? A leading Wisconsin sports marketing agency and speaker bureau. Escort Limousine Service, the preferred limousine service of the Green Bay Packers and the Red Line Hotel, Paper Valley. The Ultimate Leap, that's coming due. It's all on your tables. I'll talk to the folks online. It's your chance to do an actual Lambeau leap. And I want Mean Gene to win it because I want to see him jump over that wall.
I want to see you jump over that wall.
Easy. I can easily do
Yes,
that.
you're
You got the
big
same
bird.
vertical. You should be
Easy.
It should be easy.
Trampoline,
It's easy.
right, Dale?
I got my legs are like pogo sticks. I just go bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. There's no problem with that.
Quite the
It's
imagination.
the landing part, huh?
That hurts my back a little bit. Just I'm getting a little old, but you can enter to win awesome Packers prizes and the ultimate game day experience by getting to do the leap during the Packers game December 8th. More information at theultimateleap.com. All right, I think we had a fun show. I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time.
I had a great time.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But
thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here. Well, we appreciate it. But Aaron, you always get the final word.
I'd like to thank Allen for coming out and spending time with me. I'd like to thank everybody else out here for coming out and spending your Monday nights with me. And I look forward to seeing you guys and bringing home the W next week. Go Pack Go.
Hey, go Pack Go, yeah, for Allen, for Showtime, for Ricardo, for Sammy, and the rest of the Clubhouse Live crew. I'm Brett Christopherson, Mr. Pogo Sticks, man, saying so long. Be back here next Monday night, right, Mean Gene? As we celebrate another big Packers victory over the Panthers with this guy, Green Bay Packers running back, Aaron Showtime Jones. Mean Gene, it's your turn. Take it away.